Hey there, Glenn at the Toy Temple, and today I'm taking a look at McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Spawn. And you may say, Glenn, you never review McFarlane Toys, and you know what? You're wrong. I've reviewed a few. There was a Stranger Things, there was that Fortnite Ragnarok figure, and I like that one. The Stranger Things I could do without, but everyone kept talking about this Spawn figure on the Action Figures subreddit, and I said, maybe I'll check it out. And I missed it the first time around. And then it popped up again on Amazon with the special sword edition. And now it's sold out. And yeah, there's a Axe exclusive at Target and a Mace version at maybe GameStop. I don't know. Why do they keep making the same figure but with different weapons? But we're going to take a look at this figure though. The box first. It's got a little Spawn action down there at the bottom. Says Spawn. Mortal Kombat at the top. This is the version from the game Mortal Kombat, if you couldn't tell, because it says it all over the box. On the back, you got a pretty cool walking image of the man himself, Spawn. Demon? Man-demon? He's got 22 moving parts. Down there, you can see Warner Brothers games. More Mortal Kombat, talking him up. More glamour shots of the of Spawn, and hey look, we're back at the front. So let's crack him out of the package, take a look, and I hope you'll join me. And here is Spawn out of the package, and I really like it. Just the design, the overall aesthetic of it, I like it. We're just going to start at the top and work our way down. So the face is really sculpted super nicely. They added the little lines right there. They got the green eye paint on the mask. The black came out looking really good. And I know I just said we're starting from the top, but all the way down, you can see that white, and the whole body got this kind of gray wash over it, giving it a weathered, worn look. And I really like that. Going back to the top, the cape does not articulate. It's plastic, which is fine. I know in the movies, I know his cape moves and waves, and it's kind of got a mind of its own, Doctor Strange style almost. But it's plastic, and it's a little bit of a disappointment. But for what it is on this kind of figure for $20, it's a nice looking plastic cape, really. The sculpt is nice, gives it kind of a depth to it, and then it's got a black wash over it as well, bringing out those details, making it look somewhat cloth-like, but I don't think cloth would really improve anything on this one, unfortunately. But at the top, the collar feels floppy, which is nice, but still firm enough to stay in place. I like that. Going down, you've got the little skull clips, and the cape does not move, and those things are just glued on. But I really like how the skulls are sculpted in there with the little chain. Looks good. Going down to this arm first, he does have bicep, double jointed elbows, and ball wrist. And I know I always say I hate the ball wrists and everything, but this figure does a good job of covering it up for the most part. So you almost can't even tell. He's got a trigger finger. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I really like how it came out, and the spikes are genuinely sharp. I know I joke about it sometimes on the some other reviews featuring spike stuff, but trying to get like the sword in his hand, it actually, like, look at that. Ouch. That actually is sharp spikes. This is not a baby's toy. Other arm, you've got more spikes. Can you believe it? Todd McFarlane loves his spikes. He loves guns too, but this doesn't come with any guns. We'll talk about that here in a sec. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is a pretty cool figure, but it's just got some weird issues. The spikes look good. Same thing, double jointed elbows, bicep, shoulders. They do go all the way around. Forgot to mention that. Another ball hinge. Hidden very well by that deco on his wrist and arm. More spikes. He does have upper torso with a touch of waist, so you can slightly twist him that way and that way. And does it go all the way around? Yes. Yes, it does. That's good. That's really good. The little, the V right there came out looking good. Goes all the way around to the back. And I like that they sculpted the muscles in this as well, giving it kind of a unnatural skin outfit. Does that make sense? Because he's not a human by any means. He's a demon, 100%. But I really like that. And also, does he have butterflies? Yeah, he's got slight butterfly shoulders too. Look at that. I almost missed it. But they're not really going to do anything with how small they are. That's all right. I knew I was missing something. I kept looking at it going, there's something else there. Going up to the head though, the head does look around. It's got some attitude. Can't go all the way around, unfortunately. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now he's a real demon. Exorcist style. Upper torso, slightly loose. No big deal. Figure kicks out, back quite a bit, but there is some gap issues if you kick him all the way back. But, I mean, really, when are you going to pose your spawn like that? He does have upper thigh, but it's not really doing anything because it's inhibited by the butt back there. Too much of that going on. The leg strap feels glued on, which is nice. I know on the Marvel Legends Cyclops, those things love to fall down, and that, I'd much prefer them to be glued, if I'm being honest. He's got double jointed knees, but the knee joint is so ugly. Look at the weird diamond it makes. Ugh. Really dislike that. No boot cut. These spikes. I can't get over the spikes. The ankles do go all the way around, and there's no pivot. Well, maybe. Is there? There's slight pivot. If you get the ball at the right angle, but again, this is why I hate the ball pegs. And this is the only one that's truly visible. There we go. It's like a puzzle trying to put it back. They do go up that much, back that much, and he has toe articulation, which I don't think anyone in 2020 is asking for that, so why bother? So, articulation, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Paint, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. The overall look, the aesthetic, thumbs up. I'm digging it quite a bit. Wow. Hey, a good McFarlane figure. Who'd have thought? Look at the muscles. They really took their time, I can tell, just sculpting so much of this. This boot, by the way, is hollow. And the spikes go all the way around. Forgot to mention, I actually like that boot being so big just because of how much it weighs the figure down and gives it kind of a stand all on its own. Speaking of stands, let's take a look at those accessories real quick. I'll do a size comparison. That way you can see just how big this dude is, and then I'll give it a final score. So accessory-wise, he does come with two items. One being the sword. We'll get to that in a second. And then you've got this little stand that they decided to... Why? Why did they do that? Who knows? But the stand looks nice. It's got Mortal Kombat printed on it and one peg for his foot. Does it work? Let's find out. Put it down on the ground, put his little foot on the stand, and yeah. But here's the thing. He's not completely on the stand. If you want him in a decent, halfway decent pose, I don't know. Is it just me? Like, I want him to be like a little bit... He seems like he's standing up way too straight. Is it just me? I feel like I'm going crazy here. That seems more likely. Like if you're in a battle pose, you got your legs spread, you're ready for action. This, it just seems like he's standing there. So maybe not use the stand? Who knows? Let's get that out of here. That's more like it. What's up, Spawn? You're just gonna sit there for a sec. The sword, let's focus up on this thing. So this sword is beautiful. They painted it black right there. They even did the green eyes on the Spawn logo. Red hilt, the bottom of the sword painted black, little touches of silver right there on the the hilt. The blade also silver, and then they gave it a nice black wash as well. I really, really like it. Man, I know I talked about the mace and the axe versions, but I think the sword is top notch. This is a bulky, heavy duty sword. It's made of plastic, but it's got some girth to it. And it's not really, you know, it's not bending. It wasn't bent out of the package, that's for sure. Does it fit in his hand? Let's see. It does. It does fit. Look at that. That's very nice. That's a good looking sword. Let's try the other one, just in case. Oh, ouch. Hey, look at that. It works. Perfect. I like that. Good looking sword. Accessories I do wish it had are maybe some, I don't know, some green smoke or extra hands. He's got a trigger finger on this hand and then, you know, a gripping hand on this one. Maybe some punching, but outside of that, also, I mean, if he has the trigger, where's the gun, right? So usually for this, the size comparison, I usually grab what's around, but this is actually a good example of what the size scale actually means. So, Marvel Legends, this is a basic Pizza Spidey. He's a very good 6-inch representation of the scale. Smaller than Cap, but, you know, still a sizable adult. Swap him and Thor real quick. Spawn is a 7-inch scale, so this size does not work, which is fine. But then you've got the MCU Thor, and the MCU figures are actually near 7-inch, especially the Thor figures. So this scale actually works quite a bit. So maybe if you're feeling saucy, you can throw Spawn on your MCU shelf and he'll kind of fit. I mean, he looks realistic enough to sit next to Thor, and they look relatively the same. So what are my final thoughts on Spawn? Well, McFarlane and me, we have a weird past. I either love the figures or I hate the figures. And in this case, I love it. I really love it. It's a good looking figure. The belt, the skulls, the spikes. I mean, he's just mega 90s. Just, he just reminds me of the 90s so much, where everything was big guns, spikes, and skulls, and it's neat. The sword's really cool. Out of the 3 available weapons, I think I got the best one. And now it's all sorts of rare, and you know, that's fine. The rarity is fine. But I'll gladly take a cool looking Spawn with a cool looking sword any day of the week. The paint apps are on point. The figure itself just looks intimidating. It's big. It's just out to just reach out and punch you. And it being the Mortal Kombat version, that punch is going to do some damage. So overall, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I really, really like it. The accessories kind of hold it back. If he comes with a trigger finger, where's the gun? You know? No punching power? Come on. A couple extra hands would have been really, really great. A gun, even better. But I'm sure I'll dig around, find a gun to put in this hand, but I really like it. If you see it, sword, axe, mace, lightsaber version, whatever they put out, it's the same figure, just a different accessory. So I suggest, if you see one, pick it up. I say get it. It's really good. I'm not even a Spawn fan, and I really like it. It's going to fit really well on just about any shelf, and everyone who grew up in the 90s or beyond, I mean, Mortal Kombat just came out, they're going to know who this guy is, and they're all going to go, wow, look at that. That guy's so cool. I mean, look at his skulls. I like it a whole lot. If you can't tell, I like it. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Hit like, share, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments how you were introduced to Spawn. Was it the comics? Was it McFarlane peeling off from Marvel to stop writing Spider-Man and start writing about this guy? I don't know. Tell me. I want to know. I want to hear all about it. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, both at the Toy Temple. And remember, you're never too old to enjoy the things you love.